Hey everybody, Yankee here. Today I'm going to cover a topic that I know is going to piss some people off, and my opinions are going to make some people mad. And that's because what we're going to be talking about is a very controversial topic, and it's a very nuanced topic. So there's a lot of aspects to it. And I'm sure my opinion on one aspect or another is going to piss off pretty much everybody. So just be prepared. And the topic we're going to be talking about is, does the Second Amendment cover illegal aliens? Do they have a right to keep and bear arms when they're here? Everyone knows I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. Almost didn't get it out there. They know that about me. So they think, well, surely Yankee's going to say if they're here, they can carry. Well, that's not necessarily true. And there's several reasons for that. And we're going to talk about those today. We're going to talk about how I really feel about this. One of the things we're going to talk about is, do I feel the Constitution covers everybody? And to a degree I do, but not to the degree some people do. Some people think if once you step foot on our dirt, you get every right every other citizen gets. And I'm like, well, I don't believe in that. There's got to be some benefit to citizenship, right? I mean, I agree they still have human rights and basic civil rights, etc., but they don't get the benefit of everything, especially not our social services. So I disagree with that right off the bat. I'm definitely an absolutist when it comes to American citizens in the Constitution. The other aspect of it, taking it beyond that, is kind of a gray area for me. So let's get that out of the way right now. Also, someone in that live chat also said, Yankee's soft on immigration, so he'll think they should. Well, I don't know where they get that. I am not soft on immigration. I am someone who believes we need strict, controlled immigration. We do need work visas for people to come up and fill the jobs we need them for. But once their work visa's over, they should go home. And as far as like asylum claims go, unless you're being targeted directly by your government, you don't get asylum. You don't get to come up here and go, I want asylum because we ruined our country and it's a shithole. So we're going to come up here and do that here. No. Unless you're someone who's been like a freedom fighter and the government's targeting you directly, or they've outlawed who or what you are in your country and you're being targeted directly, then you can apply for asylum, but not just because where you come from is shitty, because you probably made it that way. So I'm not for that at all. And as far as people coming up here illegally, I'm like, don't rent houses to them. If you do, you should get in trouble. Don't rent them apartments. They shouldn't be able to use the public school system. They shouldn't be able to get welfare. And any business that hires them and continues to hire illegal immigrants knowingly should be shut down. So I'm very hard on immigration, actually. Now, I don't like calling them illegal immigrants or illegal aliens because actions are illegal, not people. People who commit illegal actions are criminals. So I prefer to call them criminal aliens and criminal immigrants. And because I don't like the term illegal immigrant, I guess some people say, oh, that means you're soft on them. No, I just think they're criminals, and that's what they should be called. I also think that if someone comes across the border and the country wants to let them stay for one reason or another, they shouldn't just be stuck there in the states they came into and be a burden on that state. All these states that want to keep the border open, well, when people come across, they should be divvied up on the different buses or trains or planes or whatever and sent to these states that want them to be there. And feel the border should be open. Share the burden. If you're going to believe in it, support it. I personally don't believe in it, but I think it's real easy for states like Colorado to go, keep the borders open, when they know they don't got to deal with it. It's a little different for Texas and other states. So I am not soft on immigration at all. I'm very hard on immigration. I just don't like the term illegal immigrants. But getting back to the topic, if they're here illegally, do they have a right to carry a gun? Well, like I said, I don't want to deal with that, actually. I think that's a moot point, whether they should have the right to carry a gun or not. Because the only time I say people should not have their rights to carry a gun is when they're incarcerated. Criminals. I always say, stop passing laws to disarm people that are free and out on the streets because you think they're too dangerous. If they're too dangerous, lock them up. If they've committed crimes that can show that they are too dangerous to be on the streets, lock them up. And that's the only time I support someone being denied their constitutional rights. So in the case of illegal aliens, they're committing a crime. And it might just be a misdemeanor, but in most places, if you commit a crime with a firearm, that bumps it to a felony. So I don't think we need to actually have laws about whether aliens can have firearms. If they're here illegally, they shouldn't. If they're legally here, if they're living here on a visa, etc., well, then I got no problem with them being armed. They're obviously upstanding citizens. At least I would assume so. But if they're here illegally, they're criminals. And even if it's not a felony, which it should be, in my opinion, it should be a felony to be here illegally. Should be a felony to hire them. Should be a felony to rent to them. And no state should offer them benefits. But like I said, that shouldn't really be that big of an issue. They're a criminal. They're committing a crime, which I think should be a felony. And even if it's a misdemeanor, if they're doing it with a firearm, felony. I don't like saying the firearm itself is the issue. Because if you give cops a blank check to say, oh, that person's carrying, now I can go see if they're actually a legal alien. Well, you think they're going to stick to just that? They'll see someone like me carrying and go up and go, I'm going to go see if he's an illegal alien, the fat old white guy. And then when I'm legal, he might go, well, while I've got you, I'm going to check your priors. I'm going to see if there's anything I can frisk you for. Maybe you got a knife that's not right, whatever. I don't like giving police that power. And like I said, in this case, I don't think we need to. Because if you're an illegal immigrant and you get caught with a gun, well, then you were a criminal in commission of a crime while having a gun. You should be locked up and deported. And of course, you should be disarmed when you're locked up and deported. When they deport you back to the Mexican prison, turn in your their firearm with them to the officials there and say, hey, they've got this gun. You think they're going to let them keep it? No, they're not going to. But they're not our problem now. So I don't even think that that's an issue that really needs to be addressed, because I don't like the idea of police being able to harass people just for carrying guns, because they won't limit it to just illegals. We saw that in Nevada with the licensing thing. So many people got harassed by police even though they were legal law-abiding citizens, because they were using the guise of, oh, well, we got to check see if you're illegal. So I don't like giving them that power when it comes to guns. So I'm not for that at all. But like I said, as far as do they have a right to have them? No, because they're committing a crime. They need to be locked up. There's no question when you arrest them saying, oh, do I have a right to take this gun away from this guy who's here illegally or not? No, there shouldn't be any question about that at all, because you shouldn't be letting them go. It should be like, oh, this guy's illegal. He has a gun. He's being locked up for being illegal and going to be deported. Well, we'll put his gun in evidence and send it back with him. That should be the only question. That's how I see it. I don't even think we need to get into whether cops have the right to stop someone and see if they're illegal or not when they're carrying, because I don't like those kind of laws. But like I said, if an illegal is stopped for something else and they're carrying, lock them up, deport them, send their gun with them separately. It's not an issue. I don't see why it's that big of a topic, to be honest. If they're here illegally and they're carrying and they don't get arrested for anything, well, then I'm not a firm believer of going around looking for crime if it's not hurting anyone. If we took away their housing, took away social benefits, and took away their ability to have a job, how long do you think they're going to stay here? They're going to leave. And if they choose to stay even though they can't get those things, they're probably a hardcore criminal, either in gangs or drug trafficking, etc. And there's 1,000 other things they can be arrested for. I don't think we need to deal with, should we demonize just for being an immigrant with a gun, or an illegal immigrant or criminal immigrant with a gun? I don't think that was actually a word. Criminal immigrant with a gun, because I don't think it's a valid point. I don't think it's a necessary point. The fact that they're a criminal is enough to lock them up. And if they have a gun with them, that's just a side matter as far as I'm concerned.